Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today let's fly the other of the two Embraer 190 and 195 models. We already flew the 195 to Venice, and today we are going to take the 190 and we'll take it, what else, into London City. So we are standing at Rotterdam at the moment. That's a real world flight operated by British Airways, or BA City Flyer to be a little bit more precise. And it's going to be just a 30-minute hop across the River Thames to London City Airport with the famous 5.5-degree approach. So let's join me in the cockpit and we'll get going straight away. The version we're flying is 0.9.21, and that is the initial release version of the Embraer 190. With that now checked, let's get rid of that sticker, and we'll also get rid of the thank you sticker from FSS down here. Alright, so with all of that done, let's power up the airplane. Okay, power is coming, then we can go ahead and do the fire extinguisher test. And then let's start up the APU. Here we go. Okay, good, so let's give the airplane a little while to actually boot up. And here as well, it is worth, while we're waiting, to take a quick look into the into the cabin, where, as you can see, we again got customized seats for BA City Flyer. In this case, they don't have anything on their headrests at all, though. So, still pretty nice to see. And as you can see, when we actually take a seat down here, we get some customized information down here as well. Okay, so with that, I do suppose we go right back into the cockpit. Got power available now. Very good. So on the last one, we made extensive use of the heads-up display. And since, to my knowledge, BA City Flyer doesn't actually have any HUD, we're going to go ahead and remove that from our airplane so that we get to fly without the heads-up display. Alright, so that's that part done. Then let's quickly continue our setup over here. We still got to do the refueling, so we'll keep the fasten belt sign off, and we'll just have the logo light on for now. Quick look on what it looks like from the outside, because it does actually look pretty cool if you ask me. They did a great job on the external model, that's for sure, so we gotta thank X-Craft for that. Alright. Then let's go ahead and grab our flight plan, make a fuel decision, and then we are going to go. So, flight details, and that's going to come straight from SimBrief. Here we go, Rotterdam to London City, BA 4458, and off we go. So, for the departure, they want us to go with 3,625 kilos. We'll make that a little bit more, let's make it 4,000, like that, and we are going to do real-time loading this one. So that should hopefully include real-time refueling and everything. At the same point, let's go ahead and go to GSX and request boarding, please. And we don't want to board any of the crew, we're on board already. Very good. Alright, cool. So that stuff is done. Our passengers should start coming out the terminal any moment now. And then I tend to say, let's go ahead and calculate our departure data. Let's see, 260 at 10, QNH 1035, so it's going to be runway 24, that's for sure. Dry runway flaps 2, calculate. And that information should be available in the manifest now. Okay. Cool, then let's go ahead and prepare our route. Echo Hotel Romeo Delta, Echo Golf Lima Charlie, and we are going to fly the BA 4458, did we say? Yeah, 4458. Alright, request our flight plan. Flight plan received. Okay, download, apply. And that's our flight plan imported. So for the departure, it's going to be runway 24, and then let's have a quick look at the route. Flight details with the Somel 2 Bravo departure. So Somel 2 Bravo is what we'll take. Alright, apply that. So, Somal to Bravo towards Upnet, Hipkosk, Xamon, and then we can go for the arrival. Runway is going to be 27 over in over there, and now comes the hard question, that is, what kind of arrivals are we going to fly? And I always find it a little bit hard in London City, because they just got so many. Alright, so, according to the flight plan, we got the Xamon 1 Charlie, but that's only going to be the initial arrival, so let's try and find that. Here it is, Xamon 1 Charlie. We can see that one basically leads us towards Jacko, and out of Jacko we got a different arrival that we need to fly then. So we'll keep this. Now we can open a second chart. And out of Jacko, let's try and find that transition. Is that it? All the way to Lavno? That does look right indeed. Okay, so coming in from the north, from Jacko, it's the Lavno 1 Juliet arrival. Okay, so Lavno 1 Juliet, and then we can pick the Xamax 1 Charlie. Okay, apply that. Right, Logan, Jacko, and then the Lavno 1 Juliet. That looks correct to me. Okay, very good. So that stuff's in. Now let's make our lives easy over here, and we'll go to the manifest, send all that data to the MCDU. So let's see if it did indeed fill out that stuff. No, it didn't. Okay, so we still gotta do that manually. By the way, refueling in progress down there. Do we have any visual animations? No, okay. The GSX guys are ready down here. We might just have to open the doors real quick. Go ground. Alright, GSX can start. We'll also put the wheel shocks in place. So where's our passengers though? Well, it doesn't matter. We'll start with our stuff. So, 0 fuel weight, 30... Oh no, that's real time. Oh boy. Okay. And I hope these things would go faster. Let's see, do we have anything in here? Takeoff weight, 0 fuel weight, 37,527. So 37,530 we'll make it. Oh, now the data has arrived. Well, that at least. Doesn't matter, I'll just insert it manually. Cruising level 200, and the cruising winds, I don't think that's located anywhere up here. Oh, there it is. Well, on the ground, I believe. I do believe that's the data on the ground. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We can leave it blank anyway, since that thing is not calculating anything. Okay, so then we can go on with our takeoff data. And the wind we just set is 260 at 10. With a temperature of 10 degrees. And runway slope, we can leave that stuff. It's a dry runway. Perfect. That looks good. Okay, let's see. I do believe we can do flap 1 takeoff here as well. And we might just about leave all that stuff as it is. Okay, so takeoff, that's our takeoff data here. And that's now sent to the PFD as well. Perfect. Okay then, so that's our arrival stuff. Then let's continue now with our departure stuff. So, Rotterdam. We need a taxi chart down here, and then we'll need a departure chart. Sit, and we said it's Somel departures today. Here we go, via Somel to Upnet. And looking at that, we go straight at Romeo Delta 166, above 400, whichever is later. So let's see. The user waypoint comes from the altitude here, so we can disregard that, and then we got waypoint 166. Then it's going to be a right-hand turn towards Romeo Delta 158, 220 knots. We got 158, we got to remember the 220 knots. Thereafter it's a left-hand turn to Somel and then to Upnet, and climbing initially 3,000 feet. Higher level only when cleared by air traffic control. Okay, so let's say altitude 3,000. Perfect. And that's it. Okay, looks good. Let's see what's happening on the outside. They're still loading the luggage. That's a lot of luggage for that small airplane. But doesn't matter. If it works, then it works. Okay, cool. So, right back inside. What else can we do then? Auto brake RTO. Toga button. We're listening to VHF 1 and 2, and then we can tune them as well. So 122.8, 121.5. Do we need anything on the radios? Hey, where's my chart? No, we don't need anything on the radio. That is all conventional. Okay. If FMS navigation is used, pilot should engage FMS lateral guidance as early as possible. The RD waypoints shall not be used in radio transmission procedures? RT? Okay, if they say so. Strange. I would assume ATC knows about those, but probably the procedure is originally defined via a distance and a radial. I mean, look at that. This looks a lot like this is just a radial outbound from Rotterdam VOR. So, is there a non-RNAV version of that chart? No. That's interesting. That's what I would kind of expect, like proceed straight ahead until, I don't know, 2 DME Rotterdam, then make a right-hand turn, intercept radial 261 outbound. That is like what this procedure looks like to me. But, I don't know. I don't know. If they say we don't talk about these Romeo Delta waypoints to ATC, then we don't do it. So transition of 3000, caution expect close and obstacles up to 110 shortly after runway end. Yeah, nothing interesting in there. I mean, strict adherence to the limits of your performance to the route is mandatory for noise. Yeah, you don't say. Okay. So that's all that stuff. Squawk 2000. Here we go. In here, nothing we can do. On here, we can just about set the call sign rather than the flight number. That is that located anywhere on here? Got a flight number up here, but we should have a different call sign than that. Well, I don't care. Then we'll just make a British Airways or Speedbird 4458. Good, that's it. Thank you. Okay, so then, let's see. For the climb, transition altitude we said is going to be 3000. Into London, probably 60. We'll have to see. And the landing stuff we do later. Okay. Perfect, so that's that. Then I'd say, are you ready for the departure briefing? So we don't have any threats. The route track is good. It's a left seat takeoff, flaps 1, noise abatement procedure number 2, and 220 knots is our initial speed restriction. Climb at 3000 feet. In case of emergencies, we can go straight ahead. Climbing 3000 as well, and then either come back here or go to Amsterdam or even just fly the 30 minutes over to London. We'll have to see about it. Okay, let's see. Initial climb, we've got a V2 136, so 146 will be our initial climb. Here we go. Okay, any questions? No? Very good. Okay then, APU is running already. There has never been a GPU in place. Seatbelts can come on now since our refueling is finished, as you can see. 4,000 kilos on board. And that's really all we can do. Oh, come on, GSX, you're annoying. You know, when you cannot click anything here and when the mouse shows you some strange indications, then that's basically when GSX is fucking around. Okay, so let's close the doors and then we go. So let's see, zero fuel weight, 37,530. 37,530, perfect. Good, then we just take the data we have. Okay, cockpit ground. Go ahead, please. So, please prepare the airplane for engine start. Let's see. Come on, GSX. Right, that looks like they just gotta drive those vehicles away. We should be able to taxi out. It would be nice if those actually went away. I'll tell you what. If they don't help us, then we help ourselves. Alright, that looks better. Cool. So we're good to go. Beacon light on. Are you ready for engine start? Cockpit ground. Go ahead. So, please confirm all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment removed, and bypass pin is installed. Yes, sir, that's all confirmed. Roger, starting in sequence 1 then 2. That thing can go close, and we can lock it as well. Okay, cool. Engine 1 start. N2. Oil pressure. N1. Okay, ignition, the engine is coming up nicely. Ground cockpit, we've got a good start number 1. Can we start number 2? Roger, starting number 2. You often just tell the ground crew a little bit ahead already, while the other engine's still starting. Otherwise it's just wasting a bit of time. Okay, that's a good start at 1, starting 2. Same thing, N2. Oil pressure should come any moment. Here it does. N1. Also rotating. I'm fairly sure that on the actual Embraer you don't even need to make these calls because it's an all FADEC assisted start, so nothing really that you can mess up. Contrary to the 737 where you can mess up a lot, and that's the reason we do those calls. Okay then, we just watch those things run up. And as soon as the self-sustaining RPM is reached, that's basically the RPMs from which, when the starter cuts out, the engine is still going to continue to run. We can tell the ground crew that that we've got 2 good starts. So, ground cockpit, 2 good starts, clear disconnect, clear signal on the left. Have a good day. Alright, that's looking good. So we do have 2 good engine starts indeed. Okay then, flight control check. Full up. Yeah, almost full down. Not sure why that doesn't go all the way down. Full left, full right, neutral, and the rudder. Full left, full right, and neutral. Okay, so quick turning on of things over here. And that's looking good. Alright, so clear on the left side, clear on the right side. The trucks should certainly be gone by now. Taxi. We'll turn the logo light off here, don't need that. Brake check. Works. Okay, clear on the right side. That's looking pretty good, isn't it? Okay, then we'll go left over here. That's gonna be Yankee, the first one, and then right on a Victor for a full-length departure. Okay, we're clear on the left side, clear on the right side. Now we can go right towards runway 24. I really like how they made those signs over here, like runway 06 to the left, please. I mean, yeah, it's right. Okay, we're clear on both sides. Okay, let's review our departure briefing. It's going to be a left seat takeoff on runway 24, flaps 1, noise abatement procedure number 2, and the takeoff speeds are 130, 133 and 138. Initial climb at 148 then. Initial level off is rather low, 3,000 feet only, so we just gotta make sure that we do actually level off early enough. And apart from that, in case of any emergency, we can simply go straight ahead, climb the 3,000 feet, and we can always come back over here. Also, the clouds don't seem to be too low over here, so a visual approach in case we need an immediate return should at all times be possible. Apart from that, birds might be a little bit of a factor for the departure, since we are located pretty much directly close to the harbor and the shoreline. So in case of bird strike, we can't really do anything against it. So if it happens, then it happens. We will continue the takeoff unless damage is suspected or unless we're still at a low speed. Okay, any questions? No questions? Perfect. In that case, transponder can go on. Man, finally, we reached the 30 knots of ground speed here. That's really taken a time. But I didn't use too much thrust either. You know, mostly I didn't use all that thrust because, well, we just didn't need it. The airport, by the way, Rotterdam, is from RD presets. There is one from Asobo as well, but I kind of really like this one. So, we're gonna use it. Man, I like this view. Like, you got the sun directly behind it, the Rotterdam airport sign. Lovely. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Okay, 10 knots around the corner. Stereo cockpit sign coming on. And here we go. Taxiing like an A330 again. That's better. Okay, we are clear on the approach. Not that we could see anything from here anyway. And clear on the left as well. Okay, ready for rolling takeoff? Windsock is good. Timing. Set takeoff thrust. Thrust set. Checked. Man, that nose hardly wants to come up. Okay, positive climb, gear up. Interesting. Does the flight director want me to go beyond 30 degrees of bank? Yeah. Wow, okay, so no autopilot just yet. That's looking better. Okay, flight level change. Then we can start accelerating as well. But I'll just command the acceleration before putting on the autopilot. That's better. Okay, autopilot, flaps up. Then the speed limit is 220 at first, so let's go ahead and select that. Alright then. We'll just say ATC has already cleared us to a higher altitude, so let's do level 100 at first. Set standard. Standard cross-check passing flight level 28. Now. Checked. And we're on the way. Looking really gorgeous, isn't it? It's a beautiful airplane. But who would have guessed that? Okay, so we're past the turn established on the 261, so we can start to accelerate. The 250 is the target. And then we can climb all the way flight level 200, which is our final cruising altitude. Set. Flight level 200 blue. That's a really cool view outside as well, isn't it? It's a huge harbor close to Rotterdam. I mean, look at that. Really huge harbor. Okay, I think at this weight we can just leave the climb 2D rate in. We're still doing 2,600 feet a minute here, so that is more than sufficient for our present conditions. So we've got about 100 miles or so until Logan, and then we need to be at flight level 90 again. That's really not a very long flight. So once we're above level 100, we'll already start reviewing the route for our way into London City. So, passing 90. really not a quick climbing airplane though. I mean, if you look at the time, we're now 5 minutes since we set our takeoff thrust, and we're just about reaching level 100. Like, from most regional jets, I would expect to fly a little bit faster. But it's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay then, level 100. We'll do 270 knots in the climb today, since it's such a short flight. We don't need to speed. Okay. And stereo cockpit out, and the fasten belts. Yeah, we are well above the clouds. It's an early morning, low clouds, no turbulence expected. Seatbelts going off. Okay then. While we are climbing out over the English Channel, let's go ahead and sort our charts. So Rotterdam charts can go. Let's get us a couple more charts for London City Airport. Next up is going to be the approach, which is then ILS Romney 27. And then we obviously need a ground chart as well. This is really a design they can improve, isn't it? And here we go, that is our ground chart. Looking good. So, let's start with the star itself. Xaman, Logan, Jacko, and Jacko max 210 knots at flight level 90. That is really low down there, and really slow. I mean, look at that, we're like 50 miles out from London City Airport at Jacko, and they want us down at level 90. The reason is obviously that you got all the other arrivals coming in. So, for example, when we flew to London Stansted back in the day, where is it? Like, here's Luton, here's Stansted. So, still within the 25-mile ring from London City. Over here, over the coastline, we'd normally be at around flight level 140, something the like. Sometimes even at 120. So, naturally, they are taking aircraft that go into other airports, and especially into the not so often frequented ones, a little bit lower, like they do over here with level 90 at Jacko. Then obviously you got the arrivals in the Heathrow, you got the arrivals in the Gatwick, you got the arrivals in the Luton, then you got a little bit of general aviation going into Biggin Hill, then you got the arrivals in the South End, which is frequented by airliners as well, like Ryanair flies there, 1,800 meters runway. So you basically get the idea, like there is a lot of there's a lot of traffic in the London area, and for that reason they keep us where they keep us, which is a little bit low for our taste, but we're probably just going to do it anyway because hey, it's good fun, isn't it, to get such a good look at the area. Now, what we can do though is have a very quick look at Flight Radar to see what exactly they did on the last real-world flight. So, if we go to Flight Radar over here, that's our flight. And you can see that over here they've been somewhere around 9,000 indeed. So, they did actually maintain those altitudes. Alright, let's get rid of Flight Radar again. As you can see, they actually do obey those. However, they did fly straight in, and we are probably going to do the exact same thing. So what you can see coming up over here is a lovely little point merge. And point merges are basically used from air traffic control for tactical purposes. Like over here you can see you come from Jacko, you fly all the way down, and then over here, over those Lima Charlie Echo points, you basically maintain the same altitude and the same distance from Rafsa, which is where the approach then actually starts. So over here, if you've got several aircraft coming in, air traffic control can use those point merge procedures in order to send aircraft directly in and create proper separation. For that reason, you also got maximum 210 knots down there, but flight level 100. So you've got those aircraft coming in level 90, those coming in level 100, and they can make a good separation between the different aircraft then, like that. Okay, that is maybe a little bit too gentle of an approach to our target altitude. we're getting there. Slowly but steadily. Just watching the level off over here. And that is looking good indeed. Okay, we've got altitude mode capturing, even though still 120 below. That's probably a little early for alt to capture. But now we're about there. It's okay, better than nothing. Okay then, let's have a look at our FMS now. So, quick check of our flight plan. Already said that from Xamax we fly to Logan and Jacko. And in here we got Xaman, Logan, Jacko. And then out of Jacko we've got Nonva, Babku, and then the waypoint 21, 22, 23. So that's Nonva, Babku, 21, 22, 23. Where's my chart? Hate it when it does this. Okay, and thereafter from 23 we go Rafsa, Gapki, Advab, waypoint 07. So let's see, we've got Rafsa, Gapki, Adpef, and waypoint 07. Where is my chart? Like, is that anywhere? Hello, what is that thing doing? Here we go. That's an interesting bug. Okay, so thereafter we've got Topdu and then Lavno. So in here we've got Topdu and Lavno, and that's from where we are going to start the ILS as well. So ILS is on the next one. So starting at Lavno, 6 miles out. Then we continue until 3.4 miles out in 2000, that's the Fox. And then we've got our 5.5 degree glide. Down to a minimum of Cat Charlie Airplane 540. Let's go ahead and set that. Here we go, 540. Okay, so what else can we do? Frequencies. That's 11115. And then radio 11115. Going active over here. Oh, it was auto-tuned already. Cool. Can we return that to auto-tuning somehow? Nah, it doesn't look like it. Well, that's fine. We'll keep it like that. Okay, so 11115 it is on both sides, and the courses we'll have to do a little bit later when we are a bit lower. But that is about it. Okay. So for the descent planning then, let's have another look at the chart. Jacko in flight level 90, and Logan max 250 knots. Okay, so Jacko is just over here. We'll need 10,000 feet, and then that's 30 nautical miles. So yeah, 30 nautical miles out from Jacko, we're gonna start our descent. So just about when it's here, that should work rather well. Low auto brakes should do. We'll let it roll all the way to the end anyway. And if we have a look at the chart, down here it's 1500 meters of runway, landing on 27, so we can vacate all the way at the end, and then coming off to the left and parking on the main apron. That is our plan for today. Alright. So with that we are pretty much done with everything. Looking good. Alright, so, anything else we can do? Not really, yeah? So, if we got a little bit of time, then we can just about make a PA to our passengers. Let's see, have they simulated the PA button? Nah, there's no click spot up there. Okay, anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, from Flytech, this is your captain speaking. We'll start our descent towards London City in a few moments, and the latest weather is scattered clouds at a temperature of 10 degrees. Would like to thank you very much for choosing British Airways today. Hope that you've enjoyed the trip. If you did, then we are looking forward to see you all again on the next one. In the meantime, would like to wish you a very nice stay in the heart of London, or if applicable, a nice and safe continuous journey. Alright, and that's our passengers covered. So then, we can start our descent pretty much now. So let's go down to level 90. We'll use FPA mode. Then we'll go FPA -3. And in case you're wondering where we can read the actual FPA we're tuning, it's just down there, right next to the little bar. So, a little hard to read, I do absolutely agree on that, but that's all we got in here. Okay, so it's pretty nice that you can just select an FPA in here, so flight path angle, compared to the 737 where you only had vertical speed. So both in the Airbus as well as in here, it's so much easier just to fly an FPA than to fly vertical speeds and to calculate all the time. Like with the FPA mode, you can see ground speed is 345, so the 3-degree descent is ground speed times 5, so we'd get about, what's that, 1500, 1700. The airplane's doing 1800 right now, so small variations, absolutely acceptable. And that's just making our lives easy, is it? Alright then. So, Logan should be 250 knots, so we'll slow down like a couple of miles prior to Logan. And then we just hope that it's not becoming a complete overcast now, because I am rather looking forward to all the lovely views that we should have flying up the River Thames. I really hope we are going to get at least a couple of those, but can't be 100% sure right now, it seems. But anyway, we'll get there and then we'll have to see for ourselves. Let's first fly there and then we worry about what we're gonna find there. I know that's always the best way to approach anything, just fly there and have a look. Especially with weather. Especially with bad weather. Alright, just joking. So, seatbelt signs are coming back on. And then we can continue our descent, and after Jacko we are probably going to go direct onto the final approach down there. So after Jacko we'll probably fly direct to Rafsa. You could obviously just fly direct to Rafsa now, but I want to wait until we've overflown a waypoint because of the way how this airplane interacts with directs. So I'll do it that way around. Okay then, quick look outside. It is a beautiful airplane, that Embraer, isn't it? Right, let's see that from the back there. By the way, cockpit door, nice thing. Can't open it over here until we unlock it down here. Also note the sound effects as we're getting into the cabin. Like you hear people talking, That's quite neat. Now we gotta crawl over the seats again. One of you guys made a great comment down in the previous video saying that, yeah, Embraer crawling over those seats is quite realistic after all, isn't it? In a cramped Embraer cabin. I really liked that comment, man. I really liked it. So some very slight wing flexing there every now and then. But you really need to look close to be able to see it. Might have to go full screen 4K resolution here even. Alright. Only the emergency exit signs seem to be constantly illuminated at the moment. Not exactly sure why it's doing that, but hey. Probably just a bug with the present version. Let's just hope that they're gonna solve that in the future. Okay then. Thank you. And lock it up. Okay, let's do the direct to RAFSA now. Here we are, RAFSA. Invalid action arrival. We'll try that once more. So, RAFSA. Why can we not edit that? Can we do another waypoint? No. Okay, I got no idea why it's doing this. But that is exactly the kind of problem why I kept saying that the airplane is not capable of VATSIM flight. Here's another reason why. What's that airplane doing, man? Okay, tell you what, I can't be bothered. Heading. Then we are just going to fly the rest on heading select, because LNAV is acting. Now we've passed 10,000. Landing lights on, stereo cockpit on. But let me try something. You can hear the ding, but is anyone responding? Doesn't look like it, huh? Okay, well, unfortunate, but it was worth a try. Maybe for future... Maybe in the future. We'll see. Okay then, since we are no longer flying our route, we might as well just go to the VOR modes now. So... frequency is in 11115, and then we can tune the course 272. And here we go, that's 272 selected. Okay. Why is it showing amber though? I mean, VOR2 is showing fine. I don't care if it wants us on VOR2. We can do that as well. Just playing with it for a bit. But... nah, I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that we still got a little bit of stuff to do down here in the FMS, so let's just go over to VOR again. Might also put on the weather display. Did it do that by itself now? No. I wonder why. I don't know. In any case, let's just quickly go down to the landing performance data. So, let's see, the latest weather for London City is 230 at 6. And that is obviously not a temperature but a wind. Makes sense. Okay, temperature is now 9 degrees. It's going to be a flaps full landing. That's the only you can do with the steep approach. Okay, and then we can take our landing speeds. We approach 127. So that's going to be a final approach speed. And that is going to get rather important later on as we fly the steep approach on that 5.5 degree ILS. Okay, then RAF's at 6,000, so but we might be a little bit higher, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, 6,000, level change. I'm ignoring the speed restriction on purpose here. If we assume that there is no other traffic, so that we get a straight-in approach, then we might as well just assume that ATC would clear us to fly faster. It's just really nasty that we cannot insert any of those directs. Can we delete waypoints? No. That's annoying. Cannot clean up the flight plan. That is really annoying. Like, that also means that all our information down here is becoming invalid. You can see it over here. Destination London City, 37.9 miles, 1 hour and 25 minutes. Well, obviously not, huh? We'll be there in, I don't know, 10 minutes or less. Okay, might be going straight onto the clouds, maybe even straight into them. Okay, then set QNH. That's 1037, passing 7,700 now. Really high QNH at the moment. Okay, let's do what the Brits do best. Vector ourselves straight over the arrival. $1,000 to go. Come on, vertical speed. $1,000 to go. So, what's our next restriction then? 4,000 over Lima Charlie Echo 07. Okay. We can do that. There's an ongoing joke in the pilot community that whenever a British controller vectors you straight over the published departure or arrival route, he gets some additional pay. And yeah, I can absolutely understand where that's coming from. That's interesting. If you take the right side, and if you go VOR2 on here, it turns up amber. Oh, that's interesting. I'm really not 100% sure what the logic is, but I have a feeling I know. So, look at that. When I'm going both displays on VOR2, then it's showing amber. But if on the right side I'm going VOR1, on the left side VOR2, then it's showing green. So my suspicion here is that when we had FMS mode selected, like now, we've got FMS2 active, but the lock 1 indication on the right side is still showing amber. So probably in the internal logic, when we saw VOR2 and VOR1 and amber over here, the internal logic was still on lock 1 on the right side, but with FMS selected like that. See, now the left side is showing us an amber lock 1. And that is kinda not what I would expect the plane to do. Well, so what are we gonna do? We'll select lock 2 on the right side manually, and then lock 1 on our side, and now it's looking good. Alright, waypoint 07 should be in 6,000, so let's take the altitude down and level change. 4,000 blue. Checked. 24 miles out now. We're already getting a localizer indication down there. We'll just fly ourselves a little bit closer on RNAV before we actually change over to tracking the localizer. As the route, or the published route, is not necessarily exactly on the extended center line. So, if ATC had cleared us, if they'd cleared us to intercept the localizer by now, then obviously we could, but let's just assume that they're still radar vectoring us over the published route, as the Brits love to do. vertical speed. Look at that, on the second vertical speed usage of the day, the mode works fine. Just on the first one, it tends to level off the airplane. Well, good to know. Good to know how it's working exactly. What's interesting though, look at the glide slope scale. We're in 4,600, 20 miles out. On a 5-degree path, 20 miles out, let's see if we got any information about that. So 3.4 miles is 2,000 feet. So 20 miles out, that glide slope should be in like 10,000 feet or so. So why do we get an indication over here? I've got absolutely no idea. That's incorrect for sure. The glide slope indication is not reliable in this airplane. Okay, let's go a couple further degrees to the right. 280 or something the likes, just to make sure we're getting back onto the route. And our next approach restriction is going to be 3,000 foot at Lapmo and 200 knots at top dew. So we're approaching top dew over there. We'll probably take the speed down just in time. That's London City Airport in sight, just on the 12 o'clock there. So speed coming back towards 210. And then after top dew we can start our descent towards 3,000. Okay, that's a runway on the 12 o'clock. Alright, let's intercept the lock. There you go, localize a capture. 200 knots, looking good. Looking really nice, isn't it? Okay, passing top dew, let's descend 3,000 feet. Vertical speed. Flaps 1. And the next speed restriction is 185. Okay, cleared approach, approach armed. Then we can start getting our speed back. So, flaps 2. Descending 3,000. Okay, gear down. Then steep approach mode is armed, and it's showing armed on the PFD as well. Flaps 3. Right, field inside 12 o'clock. Flaps 4. Flaps 5. And flaps full. Okay, 2 miles to the intercept. Clear to land. Okay, steep approach is active. Okay, so should intercept the glide slope in half a mile. That's just looking really beautiful, isn't it? London at about 12 o'clock. By the way, that speed brake here is normal. Don't worry about that. Okay, 3.3 miles, 3.2. Should get glide slope capture. Here we go. And the puppy is showing 3 whites and 3 reds as well. Alright. 5.5 degrees, as you can see. Looking good. That's just beautiful, isn't it? If you look at that. And look at it from the outside as well. That's the reason why I took the speed brake out as soon as the steep approach mode was active. Really beautiful. Okay, back inside. Let's get rid of the automatics. Checked. So, auto throttle, auto thrust, both gone. Immediately the plane starts drifting, of course. What else? So the flare is going to be the most interesting part now. Checked. Continue. Alright, spoilers and reverse. 70 knots. Manual brakes. And welcome to London City Airport. I will roll one further to the main terminal. Here we are. So that was an okay landing, wasn't it? Not too hard, not too soft. Right within the touchdown zone. What else could you ask for? That's what makes that steep approach so interesting. See, in my mind, I'm already on the next landing. All right. Spoilers going up. Transponder in a standby. APU starting. And then the next stand got a name on it. So here we go. Now the parking is another challenge over here in City. So, Q100, F50, that's all not us. So we have to make that right-hand turn now to go into there. So let's go. Thrust on number 1. Taxi light off. Now obviously we need good help from the FO, so let's just move over to his seat. And that should be it. Okay. So, brake set, the APU is available, shut down. Cabin crew, all doors in park. So, request deboarding please. Bangkok Airways, why? It's London, it's not Bangkok. Alright, both engines below 20%, beacon off, and that's it, my friend. Thank you very much for flying British Airways. So, chucks in position, we'll also get a ground power unit. Open up those doors. Alright, I do hope that you enjoyed this one. Now let's have a look at my parking. I missed a meter to get the nose wheel straight again. I really thought I did that. Why is that passenger bus coming? Shouldn't they walk in? I didn't even download a profile. Ah well. Okay, so yeah, next time we'll just let it roll straight for another meter so that the nose wheel can get straight again. But apart from that, welcome to London City. I do hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, do let me know in the comments below. And be sure to let me know what you think about that Embraer in the comments as well. If you did like the video, be sure to leave a like in YouTube as well, as it does really help with the algorithms. And then I would like to say thank you very much and goodbye to you now. See you all again on the next one, and in the meantime, enjoy your flights wherever you are flying, and ignore those GSX bus movements that we just saw there. Alright everyone, if you really love my videos, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Until then, thank you very much, and see you all again on the next one.